Ladies and gentlemen, in today's fast-moving world, intelligence is no longer measured only by how much you know, but by how well you understand yourself and others. This ability is called emotional intelligence, and it is one of the most powerful skills a human being can develop. Emotional intelligence is the art of recognizing your emotions, managing them wisely, and responding to others with empathy and awareness. It is what helps you stay calm under pressure, communicate clearly in conflict, and build strong relationships in both personal and professional life. People with high emotional intelligence do not react. They respond, they listen before speaking, they think before acting. When challenges appear, they don't let emotions control their decisions. Instead, they use emotions as information to guide better choices. Connection is the first success of emotional intelligence. When you understand emotions, you connect deeply with people, you build trust, you create an environment where others feel heard, valued, and respected. And when people feel understood, they give their best. Leadership is incomplete without emotional intelligence. Great leaders are not those who command with fear, but those who inspire with understanding. They recognize the emotions of their team, motivate during hard times, and create confidence during uncertainty. Emotional intelligence turns managers into leaders and followers into believers. Success is not just about reaching the top. It's about staying there with dignity and balance. Emotional intelligence helps you handle failure, criticism, and pressure without losing focus. It strengthens resilience, improves decision-making, and enhances long-term success. In a world full of noise, emotional intelligence gives you clarity. In a world full of competition, it gives you compassion. And in a world chasing success, it teaches you how to achieve it without losing yourself. For decades, society taught us that success belongs to the smartest person in the room, the one with the highest grades, the sharpest memory, or the fastest calculations. Intelligence was measured by numbers, certificates, and academic achievements. But the modern world has quietly rewritten this definition. Today, success is less about how much you know and more about how well you handle yourself and others. Emotional intelligence determines how you react when plans fail, how you communicate when emotions rise, and how you behave when pressure tests your patience. Two people may have the same education and skills, yet the one who understands emotions will always move ahead. Intelligence can open doors, but emotional intelligence decides how long you stay inside. In workplaces across the world, conflicts rarely start because of lack of knowledge. They start because of misunderstanding, ego, impatience, or poor communication. High IQ cannot fix broken relationships, but emotional intelligence can prevent them from breaking in the first place. The ability to stay calm, listen actively, and respond thoughtfully has become more valuable than technical brilliance alone. Modern success demands collaboration. Teams work across cultures, time zones, and personalities. In such environments, emotional intelligence becomes the real competitive advantage. A person who can manage emotions, respect differences, and create harmony becomes indispensable, regardless of their academic rank. Failure is another area where emotional intelligence proves its power. Intelligent people often struggle when things don't go as planned because they were never trained to handle emotional setbacks. Emotionally intelligent individuals, however, process disappointment without letting it destroy confidence. They learn, adapt, and move forward with clarity. In leadership, emotional intelligence separates authority from influence. People do not follow leaders because of their degrees, they follow because they feel understood and valued. A leader with emotional intelligence knows when to push, when to pause, and when to listen. This ability builds trust, loyalty, and long-term impact. In personal life as well, emotional intelligence shapes success. Relationships, friendships, and family bonds depend on understanding emotions, not logic alone. Knowing when to speak, when to stay silent, and when to show empathy creates stability and respect that intelligence alone cannot provide. As technology continues to advance and artificial intelligence takes over technical tasks, the human ability to understand emotions becomes even more critical. Skills can be automated, but emotional awareness cannot be replaced. The future belongs to those who can balance knowledge with emotional control, logic with empathy, and ambition with understanding. Self-awareness is the ability to look inward with honesty and recognize what you are feeling, why you are feeling it, and how those emotions influence your behavior. It is not weakness, it is clarity. Without self-awareness, emotions control actions silently, often leading to reactions that are later regretted. With self-awareness, emotions become signals rather than commands. Most people live on autopilot. They react to situations without questioning their inner state. Self-aware individuals pause. They observe their thoughts, tone, and emotional triggers before responding. This pause creates power, the power to choose responses instead of surrendering to impulse. Self-awareness helps identify emotional patterns. You begin to notice what frustrates you, what motivates you, and what drains your energy. These patterns reveal hidden strengths and blind spots. Understanding them allows personal growth to be intentional rather than accidental. In professional environments, self-awareness directly affects performance. When you understand your emotional reactions, you manage stress better, accept feedback without defensiveness, and communicate more effectively. Leaders with self-awareness know their limits, acknowledge mistakes, and continuously improve because they are not threatened by self-reflection. Self-awareness also strengthens confidence. It replaces false bravado with grounded self-belief. Knowing who you are, what you stand for, and where you need improvement creates inner stability. This stability prevents comparison, jealousy, and emotional insecurity. Relationships benefit deeply from self-awareness. When you understand your emotions, you stop projecting them onto others. Instead of blaming, you take responsibility. This shift reduces conflict and builds mutual respect. Listening becomes genuine and communication becomes clear. Growth begins with awareness. You cannot control what you do not recognize. Emotional intelligence starts the moment you become conscious of your inner world and accept it without denial or judgment. Pressure reveals the true level of emotional intelligence. When situations become intense, deadlines tighten, or expectations rise, emotions naturally intensify. Fear, anger, anxiety, and frustration begin to influence thinking. Managing emotions does not mean suppressing them. It means understanding their presence and preventing them from hijacking decisions. Under pressure, the brain seeks quick relief, often leading to impulsive choices. Emotionally intelligent individuals recognize this moment. They slow down internally, regulate their emotional state, and create space between feeling and action. This space allows logic to re-enter the decision-making process. In high-stakes environments, one emotional reaction can change outcomes permanently. A harsh response, a rushed decision, or an emotional outburst can damage trust, reputation, and progress built over years. Emotional management acts as a protective shield, helping individuals maintain composure even when circumstances are chaotic. Managing emotions also improves clarity. Stress clouds judgment and narrows perspective. When emotions are regulated, the mind opens to alternative solutions and creative thinking. Challenges are seen as problems to solve rather than threats to escape. Resilience is deeply connected to emotional control. When setbacks occur, emotionally intelligent people process disappointment without allowing it to turn into self-doubt or defeat. They acknowledge emotions, learn from the situation, and adapt strategies without emotional baggage. In leadership roles, emotional management sets the tone for everyone else. Teams mirror the emotional state of their leaders. Calm leadership during crisis creates confidence, while emotional instability spreads fear. Leaders who manage emotions well become anchors in uncertainty. Consistent emotional regulation builds long-term credibility. People trust those who remain steady under pressure because predictability creates safety. Over time, this reliability turns into influence, respect, and authority that cannot be forced. Human connection is not built on words alone. It is built on emotional understanding. Emotional intelligence allows individuals to sense what others are feeling, even when it is not spoken. This awareness transforms ordinary interactions into meaningful relationships rooted in trust and respect. People naturally gravitate toward those who make them feel understood. Emotional intelligence sharpens listening skills, encouraging presence rather than interruption. When someone feels genuinely heard, barriers dissolve and openness increases. This creates communication that goes beyond surface-level exchange. In professional environments, emotional intelligence reduces conflict and strengthens collaboration. Differences in opinion, culture, and personality are inevitable, but emotional intelligence prevents these differences from turning into division. It allows respectful disagreement, healthy dialogue, and shared problem solving. Empathy plays a central role in building connections. Understanding another person's emotional state does not require agreement, it requires acknowledgement. This acknowledgement validates experiences and fosters psychological safety, where people feel comfortable expressing ideas and concerns. Strong connections also depend on emotional boundaries. Emotional intelligence helps individuals recognize when to support others and when to protect their own emotional well-being. This balance prevents burnout and resentment while maintaining mutual respect. Networking becomes more authentic through emotional intelligence. Instead of transactional interactions, relationships are built on sincerity and value. Over time, these genuine connections create opportunities, partnerships, and support systems that extend beyond professional gain. Emotional intelligence strengthens long-term relationships by reducing misunderstandings and emotional misinterpretations. It promotes patience, tolerance, and adaptability in changing dynamics, allowing connections to evolve rather than break under pressure. Leadership is often misunderstood as control, position, or power. True leadership, however, is rooted in influence, and influence is built through empathy. Authority may force compliance, but empathy earns commitment. Emotionally intelligent leaders understand that people are not machines. They are driven by feelings, values, and personal struggles. Empathy allows leaders to see beyond performance and recognize the human experience behind it. When a leader understands what motivates, stresses, or discourages their team, guidance becomes effective rather than rigid. This understanding helps leaders support growth instead of demanding perfection. Teams perform best when they feel safe and valued. Empathetic leadership creates an environment where individuals are comfortable sharing ideas, admitting mistakes, and asking for help. This psychological safety fuels creativity, accountability, and continuous improvement. Authority without empathy creates distance. Fear may produce short-term results, but it damages trust and morale over time. Emotionally intelligent leaders know when to be firm and when to be compassionate. They balance expectations with understanding, creating respect rather than resistance. Empathy also improves decision-making in leadership. Considering emotional impact alongside strategy prevents decisions that harm morale or culture. Leaders who anticipate emotional reactions navigate change more smoothly and reduce resistance. During times of uncertainty, empathy becomes essential. Teams look to leaders not just for direction, but for reassurance. Leaders who acknowledge emotions rather than dismiss them stabilize their teams and maintain focus during disruption. Empathetic leaders develop future leaders. By listening, mentoring, and empowering others, they create a culture of trust and shared responsibility that sustains success beyond individual authority. Resilience is the ability to continue moving forward despite setbacks, pressure, and uncertainty. Emotional intelligence strengthens this ability by helping individuals process challenges without becoming overwhelmed by them. Instead of resisting difficult emotions, emotionally intelligent people acknowledge them and prevent them from shaping negative beliefs. Life rarely follows a straight path. Failure, rejection, and unexpected change are inevitable. Without emotional intelligence, these experiences can damage confidence and motivation. With emotional intelligence, they become opportunities for learning and adjustment rather than permanent obstacles. Emotionally intelligent individuals separate identity from outcomes. A setback does not define their worth, it informs their growth. This mindset reduces fear of failure and encourages persistence even when results are delayed. Stress management is a key component of resilience. Emotional intelligence allows individuals to recognize early signs of burnout, regulate stress responses, and maintain mental balance. This self-regulation preserves energy and focus over long periods of effort. Long-term success requires consistency, not intensity. Emotional intelligence supports steady progress by preventing emotional extremes from disrupting momentum. It helps individuals remain disciplined during low motivation and grounded during success. Adaptability also grows with emotional intelligence. Change becomes less threatening when emotions are managed effectively. Instead of reacting defensively, emotionally intelligent people remain open, flexible, and solution-oriented. Over time, emotional intelligence builds inner strength that external circumstances cannot easily shake. This inner stability becomes the foundation for sustained achievement across careers, relationships, and personal growth. True success extends beyond status, wealth, or recognition. It is rooted in self-understanding and the ability to understand others. Emotional intelligence bridges the inner world and the outer world, allowing individuals to move through life with awareness rather than confusion. Understanding yourself means recognizing your emotions, values, strengths, and limitations. It allows alignment between actions and purpose. When people understand their inner drivers, they make decisions that reflect authenticity rather than external pressure. Understanding others requires empathy, patience, and emotional awareness. It involves listening without judgment and observing beyond words. This understanding reduces conflict and strengthens cooperation in diverse environments. When self-awareness and social awareness combine, interactions become intentional. Communication improves because responses are thoughtful rather than reactive. Relationships deepen because intentions are clear and emotions are respected. Success built on emotional intelligence is sustainable. It does not rely on dominance or manipulation. Instead, it grows through trust, mutual respect, and shared progress. People are more willing to support and collaborate when they feel understood. Emotionally intelligent individuals navigate complexity with balance. They manage ambition without losing humanity and pursue goals without damaging relationships. This balance creates fulfillment alongside achievement. Understanding yourself and others transforms success into a shared experience where growth is measured not only by personal gain but by positive impact on the lives around you.